nerdy protagonist. My name is non-memorable male name, but my friends call me shitty nickname that makes fun of my lanky appearance. Because somehow, every nerdy male in the young adult canon is skinny, rather than literally any other body type that a human can be. I'm an exact carbon copy of what some white guy thinks he was in high school. In reality, he was much worse and not nearly as hot as I am. How crazy is it that I'm this good looking and have been branded a social outcast?
I'm nerdy protagonist, smooth best friend. My name is something super white. I'm way too smooth and charming to be branded a nerd, but suspend your disbelief here for a second in this supposedly realistic novel. I'm also probably some sort of white ethnic, like Jewish. Because I'm the comedic relief, and some white guy is secretly racist as hell. All Jews are funny, and I know this because I'm funny and I'm Jewish. My protagonist and I have been best friends since we literally popped out of our mother's wombs because of how small this town is.
I'm nerdy protagonist, convenient brown friend. I'm brown and I have a funny culture that my best friends don't understand. That's relatable, right? I'm pretty dirty too because I grew up in the super white town, which means I have no real connection to the culture of my race. I'm the only brown kid at our school because this novel is set in a small Midwest town, almost identical to where some white guy grew up. Groundbreaking, huh? Did I mention my friends aren't racist because they have me, their convenient brown friend?
I'm the ethereal, mentally ill girl that the nerdy protagonist has spent this entire novel romanticizing. I drink and smoke to cope with my totally wrecked emotional state, but he thinks it's endearing. I also have sex with a lot of guys, but he still sees me as a pure, beautiful flower for some reason, presumably because he's a nice guy. I'm a rejection of everything some white guy wants in a woman. He found it once in high school or college, but it slipped through his fingers. He's created a fictional version of himself and a fictional version of hers to fulfill his fantasy of fucking a side girl he met once.
I'm the ethereal, mentally ill girl, drunk best friend. The protagonist hates me because I'm just like my best friend, except he doesn't view me as that much, just a drunk slut. The author's gonna cut me off any minute because I'm just a prop to show how my best friend is different from other girls.
I'm a footballer who definitely wants to fuck ethereal, mentally ill girl. And thinks the protagonist is a total nerd. I'll probably tell him how gay he is and make fun of his friends for being gay too. I'll use a few slurs because the author hates me. Since I'm another projection of some white guy knew in his young adult life. If you met who I'm based off of, you'd probably like me. I'm probably fun and charismatic, but not according to him. He totally thinks he's sticking it to me by portraying me this way.
Wow, guys! What a great introduction sequence! Definitely didn't have too much goddamn exposition in it because I, some white guy, am a great writer, and I've written exactly one collection of short stories with way too much exposition, and I can't write a female character to save my life. I immediately move to the scene where a nerdy protagonist and ethereal, mentally ill girl have what seems to be a passing conversation, but is actually the secret to the entire novel.
Oh, I apologize profusely.
I recognize from a high-level class we have together.
Nerdy protagonist has never been so embarrassed in his young life, including that one time where something sexual happened with an extended member of his family, because I think incest is a relatable anecdote.
I confirm that we had that high-level class together and offered to tutor you.
I mentioned nerdy protagonist was nerdy and smart, right? I did? Okay. Just checking.
I declined and mentioned I've been doing this very hard and difficult classwork since an age that's mathematically improbable for me to have been doing this very hard and difficult classwork.
Nerdy protagonist has never been harder in his poor, sad life.
Insensitive comment that insinuates that because you're girly and beautiful, I didn't expect you to be smart.
Comment that challenges nerdy protagonist to stop underestimating me and turns him on at the same time.
Correction to an earlier statement, which labeled running into ethereal, mentally ill girl as the most embarrassing moment of his young life, which labels this moment as the new most embarrassing moment of his young life.
I'm so embarrassed that I dropped a notebook, which possesses all of my cool comics drawings that are definitely cool and not lame.
I pick up the notebook and begin to leaf through it, which is definitely rude and out of line. Nerdy protagonist forgives us because because I'm a small infant babe who just had her candy taken by a big bad man.
Fuck, my metaphors are excellent.
I noticed you have drawn fan art from an obscure indie comic and confessed I think said comic is way better than some mainstream comic that most people accept as excellent, but...
I am a comic elitist, and therefore so are my characters.
I tell you that I'm a huge fan of the protagonist, who is also pretty nerdy. Because how could I not relate to a character that is essentially me but with superpowers?
I call you a shitty new nickname that combines your name and the name of the protagonist we both like.
Okay, let's end it here because nothing really matters once ethereal mentally ill girl is out of the picture. We can cut to the scene where a nerdy protagonist describes this mediocre encounter to smooth best friend and convenient brown friend.
I assert that you are going to get laid, even though I'm most certainly reading way too much into what in reality would be a completely insignificant conversation. But in the world of the novel is the inciting incident of the plot!
I express doubt because it's my job to be the down-to-earth friend, since some white guy can't exploit my race too much by making me some sort of savant with the ladies.
A statement that attempts to calm you both down while also conveying how nervous I am at all the possibilities that have opened up thanks to one conversation that didn't even result in me getting her number or a further way to contact her.
I quickly move on from any section that includes any real character development with nerdy protagonist friends, even though nerdy protagonist spends all his time with them. I need more time in this way too long novel to convey how much he thinks about a girl he doesn't actually know at all. After a lot of internal monologue, I push the plot to a conversation between an ethereal mentally ill girl and her drunk best friend that nerdy protagonist just so happens to overhear.
I assert it's ridiculous for me to be thinking about nerdy protagonists, but I immediately launch into a whole spiel about how cool he is, even though we just met. I think he may be the breath of fresh air I'm looking for in my life, because he's definitely the solution to all my problems. Not a good therapist or a strong antidepressant.
Look, ethereal mentally ill girl, I have to go on a rant about how he's not popular and how it's social suicide to be seen with him. And I have to use the phrase social suicide, even though you're clearly suicidal, which just means that...
I have no real understanding of mental illness, as I, myself, have never struggled with anything worse than low-level anxiety.
No, drunk best friend, I don't think you understand. This kid is somehow really appealing to me after one casual interaction. I'm thinking about inviting him to footballer's party.
Footballer's party? That's the biggest party of the millennium! That party is like Christmas, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Flag Day, our birthday, my birthday, your dead mom's birthday, and Hanukkah combined!
Notice how I threw in Hanukkah? I'm culturally tolerant.
Bringing a loser to footballer's party is
Social suicide.
Cryptic statement about how social lives are futile, how maybe we should all commit social suicide, but not real suicide, because this novel certainly
Doesn't promote self-death and romanticize its consideration in any way. At all. And everyone on the internet needs to stop saying it does. As always, nerdy protagonist now has to mull over what he's heard about for a few hundred pages.
This is my internal monologue. It's wordy and sounds like my brain is a thesaurus, which is literally impossible. Here, I will overanalyze everything that ethereal mentally ill girl said in the conversation, which I very rudely eavesdropped on. Oddly enough, I will not debate the ethics of my actions.
It looks like it's time for our humble hero to meet his ill-fated princess once again.
Hey, shitty nickname.
I take my shows bewilderment that you're even talking to me.
I casually invite you to footballer's party.
I accept with a tone and cadence that indicates I literally cannot fucking believe what's happening.
I tell you, you're free to invite anyone you'd like, because I'm trying to convince you to come without seeming too desperate.
I mix up my words because of how excited I am to have been invited to a real-life party, even though I could have been throwing my own parties with my own friends instead of waiting for someone else to include me in their non-inclusive fun.
I smile because you're so wildly endearing, even though I can't figure out why for the life of me, because we've barely spoken. You think I'm reciprocating your unjustified love for me.
I jump straight to footballer's party where ethereal mentally ill girl pushes nerdy protagonist away because there has to be some sort of conflict in this novel, and why not have it be the sad girl who creates all the problems rather than actual circumstance or plot?
Dude, statement of disbelief. We were invited to this party because there is literally no context as to why footballer would even let ethereal mentally ill girl invite social outcasts like us.
statement of worry because my vaguely defined culture doesn't let me drink or smoke or do anything American society. Apparently, I'm super religious and I adhere to all my culture's rules, but I can't seem to use words of my culture's language correctly because some white guy just used Google Translate instead of asking someone who speaks the language I occasionally toss into my speech for no reason.
Notice how I let convenient brown friend use words from his home country. What a cool white savior complex I have.
Point out where ethereal mentally ill girl is so we can all watch the events that are about to transpire between her and footballer.
I go in to sloppily kiss you on the mouth.
But I move away because I am turned off by your violent, toxic masculinity as I discovered I prefer boys who wear flannels.
Isn't it cool how I think women are people? Buzzwords like that give me woke points, and God knows I need them right now, so...
I drunkenly yell and scream because one girl at one party refused to kiss me. I spot the nerd squad and yell obscenities at them, using gay slurs and insinuating they suck each other's dicks. They storm off.
I drunkenly follow footballer because I am drunk and I am simply a prop to show how only sad, mysterious girls get taken advantage of, but all the girls are just
Asking for it.
I think it's time we move to the bathroom where nerdy protagonist finds ethereal mentally ill girl crying after footballer tries to kiss her.
An attempt to interrupt you in a situation you clearly want to be left alone during.
I tell you to leave because you can't see me like this.
I asked why it would matter if I saw you like this.
I explain that you're a good person and I am deeply flawed at my core when in reality my brain chemistry is imbalanced and I need help from a professional.
I try to convince you that I understand because I felt sad one time.
I insist you don't understand because I believe I am alone in this world due to my anxiety disorder and depression.
I tell you not to let your self-doubt stop you.
I find this inspiring. I don't know that I'm hardwired to feel this way and will never be fixed until I receive medical attention. However, I tell you, go! Because you don't deserve a girl like me. You deserve better.
I get close to your face and cup your chin in my hand, inching closer and closer to your mouth. I whisper sweet sentiments about how perfect you are as I go in for the kill at this very inappropriate moment.
Hey, gay slur! Have sex with me tonight.
I stand with new bravery. I give an impassioned speech about how you're going to peak in high school, and I am the invincible one from here on out. I tell you that ethereal mentally ill girl deserves better than you, while not realizing that she deserves better than me, a lame, romanticizing, creepy white boy as well. I declare that I am better than you.
I, in a barbarically drunken manner, yell at you and threaten to fight you, but I'm interrupted by you.
Punching you in the goddamn face!
I collapse to the floor, though there is no way in real life with weak shrimp like nerdy protagonists who take out a guy on my side.
I, amazed, rise to my feet, realizing that you're indeed the solution to all my problems, not substance abuse or high-quality talk therapy. I call you by the shitty nickname I gave you earlier.
I smile, go in to kiss you, and crudely shove the name of the novel into its last lines.
New York Times bestseller list, here I come!